All right, guys, you get a two for tonight. So I had to come back on and do this. McFly11 watched one of my previous videos. Me and him been chatting today, and he asked me, "What's the Warren?" He said, "I'll bite. What's the Warren Buffett scam?" So I'm gonna give it to you, the Warren Buffett scam. And this is, I tell people when I do talk to them, they look at me like I'm crazy because I know it goes against societal norms. But I personally do not believe that Warren Buffett is the best investor of all time. I do not believe that at all. So has he made great investments? Let's go ahead and knock that out of the park. This is going to be a short video. I'm going to do it quick and get my point across. But has he made great investments? Yes. He made great, hard-standing investments in the very beginning when the getting was good in companies like Coca-Cola, Hershey's, Kroger. You get what I'm saying? He invested in household names in the very beginning and he let it ride. Can't knock the man on that one. I can't deny it, right? You can't either. Those were, if you had the chance to go back to freaking 1950 and dump your life savings into Coca-Cola, you would, wouldn't you? You know, or if you could go all the way back, he's into See's Candy. You know, he invested in things that were solid, that people were always going to want. And that's how you should invest, right? Every real investor knows that's how you should invest. You should invest in the company, not how much. So it doesn't have to be, I invest in things that I like. I invest in things that I know about. I invest in hard-standing companies that are going to be here into the future. Okay, I invest in those things because I believe in them. And that's ultimately what he did way back in the day when the getting was good in those companies, very baby stages, those early stages, those early days. So, did he make great investments? Yes. Thumbs up. Yes, he did. But the Warren Buffett scam, here we go. Ultimately, when you invest, markets go high and low, ups and downs, peaks and valleys. It'll be that way forever. And all the markets go high and low, ups and downs, peaks and valleys. It will be that way till the end of time. The markets will never crash. And people need to understand that. People are like, oh, it's a market crash, stock market's crashing, get your money out. They spread all this fear to take all your money, have runs on the banks and all these things. Don't do that. As long as it's a solid business. Now, if you've thrown your money in, little Timmy's CD-ROM company or something, then yeah, you probably better go grab that. You should have never invested in that in the beginning. But let's say that you got all your money, we'll just say in the S&P 500 and the market crashes. You put all your money in at a certain point. We don't know when. I don't know when. And this market's went like this and this and this. And hopefully you rode the wave and didn't pull it out and put it back in and all these things. Because that's not how you invest. That's not what you do. So when the market goes high, if you need the money, that's the time to take it. But you don't wait till it falls to run and get your money because you think you're going to lose it all. The market will never crash in the sense that what you think. It's impossible. And the reason I say it's impossible, for the S&P 500 to fail, in no way is this financial advice, I'm just telling you guys, okay? For the S&P 500 to fail, you're talking 500 of the biggest, best companies in the United States to fall. You're talking Walt Disney, Amazon, FedEx, UPS, Tesla, you're talking Google, you're talking all these companies, Coca-Cola, you're talking Bank of America, you're talking all these different things to fail. First and foremost, do you honestly think they're going to allow those companies to fail? If you've got all your money in the S&P 500 best companies in the United States, do you think they're going to allow those companies to fail? Do you think Walt Disney is just going to go up in smoke to never be heard from again? It's amusement parks, it's movies, it's everything. Do you think it's just going to poof? It's gone? McDonald's? Poof, it's gone. Kroger? Kroger bad. I can see Kroger going down probably, but I doubt it because they have the Kroger brand. Kroger also has farms. It does ketchup. You got tomatoes and chicken and the Kroger brand. So it's unlikely. Now, the second kicker to that is, if those companies, if the S&P 500 ever did fall, you have way more problems on your hands than money. okay, you're pretty much might as well just be preparing for a zombie apocalypse or something at that point. I mean, the SHTF has really hit the fan. Load the weapons, barricade yourself in your home, because I mean, it's about to get real. If the stock market really crashed and crumbled, you got bigger problems than money, man. So you better have made the proper preparations, like I've talked to you about before in other videos. Okay, your first 100,000 is not just about money. It's about starting from the bottom and building up. Started from the bottom, now we're here. Okay, so the Warren Buffett scam, bear with me. We already covered that he's made good investments. We've already covered the S&P 500. The stock market will never crash. It will dip. It will take a big ass dip. But as long as you don't pour your money out, you're not going to take any losses, because it's going to bounce back. It has to. It has to bounce back. So when the stock market takes that big ass dip all the way down and you think that the whole world's about to end, that's when you throw all your money in it. You don't pull your money out. You take every dollar you have and you throw it in. Because when you can buy the S&P 500 for, say, $300, which would be some really scary times, I agree. But when you can buy it for $300 and wake up 5 years later and everything that you threw in that is now worth $5,000 a share, it's a no-brainer. For people that invest, you know what I'm talking about. When there's blood in the streets, you buy. You buy. When the stock market crashes is when you buy. It goes ups, downs, highs, lows, peaks, and valleys. You buy at the bottom. Everybody wants to jump in when they hear about it, right? Oh, I heard that Amazon was doing this. They jump in. If you heard about it, you're too late. People like me and you, by the time, if you don't sit down and follow these trends every day, by the time you heard about it from the guy at work, you're too late, man. You're too late. You might get lucky and make a couple dollars, but to make any serious money, you're too late. So what's the Warren Buffett scam, you ask? Well, McFly, here's my thought process on the Warren Buffett scam. He doesn't have to invest anymore. He is a household name. So what happens? Okay, a few years ago, you might remember, you seem to keep up with the markets, you might remember Buffett invested in Barrick Gold. And it hit the tabloids. Warren Buffett, whatever, I don't remember how much you put in there, $1 billion into Barrick Gold. Never even heard of this damn company. And what does everybody do? Whoosh, they go over to Barrick Gold and they throw all their money in it. So what happens to Warren Buffett's? Goes up. Rises, right? Everybody throws their money in behind him. That stock inflates. It raises that stock price. You know what I'm talking about? That it raises that stock price. Then what happens? Third quarter rolls around. Warren Buffett takes all his money out of Barrick Gold. He took his money and his profits back from Barrick Gold Company and he pushed them back into Coca-Cola or wherever he's holding them at. Right now he's sitting heavy on cash. But as soon as he makes an investment, Warren Buffett invested in Little Timmy's Candle Company. Whoosh. Millions of people run to Little Timmy's Candle Company and they drive that stock price all the way up. Quarter three comes around. By the third quarter, Warren Buffett takes all his money out of Little Timmy's Candle Company. That is the Warren Buffett scam. He is a household name. He no longer has to make any investments. All he has to do is make one investment of any bullshit company and allow the tabloids and the headlines and the news reporters to run that information to the masses. And then once they run those headlines out to the masses, Warren Buffett lets it set. He lets his money marinate for a little while. And by the third quarter of the year, he takes all his money back, profits with it. And then you're there holding the bag. Hopefully, if you follow these trends enough, you can get in as fast as you hear or know, where Buffett has moved his money. You can get in right behind, I'm talking about right behind him, on his heels. And then once he's pulling his money out in the third quarter, you're on his heels again to take yours and leave somebody else holding that bag. That is the Warren Buffett scam. If you pay close attention, I do not believe I'm wrong. I'm not always right. So let me know what you think about it in the comments below. I'm very, very curious to know what you guys think. But to me personally, this is what I see. I see him and throw his money into things because they seem popular. Not so much as far as technology. He has a few here and there. But he throws his money into more commodity type companies. And once the masses follow behind and throw their money in right behind them, usually takes about the second quarter. So in first quarter, he tosses his money in. By the second quarter, everybody's already shuffled their money into it. By the third quarter, he's pulling his money back out. It's the Warren Buffett scam. He takes his profits and he goes and he sits on his money until he finds something else. I don't think I'm wrong. I'll definitely leave some comments below and let me know what you think, because I'm curious to hear what you guys have to think about this. All right. So if I'm wrong, but I do not believe so. I follow this. I look at this and I'm like, man, this is what he's doing. He's not even investing anymore. He puts his money into what he thinks people are. When times are scary, where do people go? When times are scary, people go to gold and silver, guns and bullets, right? You never really hear about Warren Buffett investing in guns, but gold. And he's already told you before, gold does nothing, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, okay. But when times are scary, people invest their money. But gold's a different conversation for another day. If you guys want my thoughts on gold, I'll give it to you. I love commodities. I love gold and silver, oil, gas. I love it. I love it. But when times are scary, there's a lot of fear mongering going on out there. People run to gold and silver, guns and bullets, and they start stacking up food, right? Warren Buffett throws his money into gold companies, gold mining companies, not gold ETFs, not gold bars, maybe gold bars, I don't remember, but he threw his money into gold mining companies that you never even heard of. And then when the masses follow, because it's Warren Buffett, he lets his money marinate, lets everybody get in there. They hype this stock up, and then he yanks his money back out, takes his profits and runs. I mean, I say he's not the greatest investor, but when you look at that, let me know what you think. All right, that's my 2 cents on that. So let me know what you think. You guys have a good night.